Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Happy Wedding Tip Tuesday. I am so excited to chat with you guys. This is my second to last Wedding Tip Wednesday before the end of the year, and it's crazy to think that we're almost into a new year, we're almost into a new decade. Like today is Christmas Eve, which is awesome. Tomorrow's Christmas. I hope you guys that are celebrating have so much fun. But it's just like a really cool time right now. Like I always like this time of year because it's like we're winding down for the end of the year, and I just want to give you guys a bunch of tips and tricks. I know so many of you are getting engaged over the holidays, and I just want to be there to help. So for those of you who haven't been following me before, my name is Lindsay and I'm a wedding photographer. So I'm located in Ohio, Northwest Ohio, and I specialize in weddings and engagements. And a huge thing for me is just I want all my couples to have a stress-free day. Like that is the ultimate goal for everything. So today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about when to reschedule an engagement session. This is something, especially this time of year, like it's tricky. Ohio in general is like really, really tricky because you can kind of control your engagement session, but you can't control your wedding day. So that's kind of when you're thinking about if you should reschedule, is it something like if you were getting married, would you still be outside taking photos? If the answer is yes, it's probably okay for you to take your engagement photos out there as well. So there's a lot of different variables. The biggest one that I can think of is like the wind and the rain. Especially when people are getting like their hair and makeup done. And obviously if it's really cold, if it's really hot, cloudy, though that's always like a huge one too. So I'll definitely cover all of those topics for you guys and whether I think it's worth rescheduling or not. Let's start with snow first, since it's almost Christmas. If you are wanting a winter session and you don't want snow, at least around here, I feel like there's a couple big snowstorms, but then it kind of goes away a little bit. So your best bets are like November, even December, and then we'll really just work around when that snow melts. So there's always like a couple warmer days where we can reschedule where there isn't snow. And I always feel like there's like a warm up, like it'll snow, the snow will melt, like it's just constant. So as long as we're kind of looking at the weather like forecast for everything, we can always make that snow go away for everything. So that's the one where I don't necessarily think you have to reschedule. I think it's beautiful. So if you want to embrace it, I love it. Like it's beautiful. But I know it's not for everybody. Not everybody wants that in their photos because it is kind of like a one note when it comes to your photos. It's like, oh, there's snow. Especially when there's a lot of snow, because when there's a little bit of snow, we can kind of go to different areas where it doesn't show up as much and it's a different look. But when there's a lot of snow, there's a lot of snow. And I know a lot of people don't want to like be cold in their photos and look cold, and I try and help with that different stuff too, but I get it. I totally get it. So that's one where it's yes or no. You can reschedule, you can't. It depends on if you like that look or not. Wind is one where it's tricky. If it's over like 40 miles an hour, even like 30, and it's like big gusts, I love, don't get me wrong, I love the windswept hair look. I think it's amazing. I think it's so romantic in your photos, and I love it, but it's not for everybody, especially when you are getting your hair done or you're getting your makeup done. Like everybody worries about that. And when you are getting your hair done, that's the last thing you want is like all this wind and all this craziness. So, it's hit or miss. Like I said, I love a good windswept look. If we're someplace where there's a lot of like tree cover, it might not really affect us that much versus like if we're out on like Maumee Bay, like at the beach or someplace that's more open, we're definitely gonna feel that wind. But sometimes it's easy to work around. You know, we might have to kind of switch our location a little bit. Maybe we're going to like a metro park and we go to a different area of the metro park because it's going to be more like covered and safer there. So that might be something that we can do to still keep your session on the same day and, you know, kind of work with the weather and work with what we were dealt that day for everything. So wind is tricky. Cold, there's not much we can do, especially if you want to have your session in the wintertime. We can try and do it when it's a little bit warmer in the day, so more like in the afternoon. Like I wouldn't really recommend like a sunrise winter session just because that is so cold. Like that's such a cold part of the day. If we did something like that, that's going to be your best bet. But I don't see a reason to reschedule for cold unless it's like literally like negative temperatures or, like even the teens can be really, really cold. But, if we're going to a place that we can hop in and out of the car a few times, go to a couple locations, it's a winter session. So it's, just plan on it being cold for everything. Let's see, rain. When it comes to rain, if it's sprinkling, I think it's fine. If you're not too worried about your hair, we can have an umbrella. We can go under some places with shade, tree cover, different places like that. I'm so used to that because even on wedding days, if it's going to rain, it usually rains a little bit and then it stops. That's pretty much the norm. You don't have a lot of days where it rains like all day, heavy, crazy, all like every minute of the day. But you do have it where it can take breaks. So if it's just kind of spitting a little bit, I think it's okay. If it rains, I also think it's really cool. I can throw a flash behind you guys. I can light up that umbrella. We can embrace it. It's really romantic to be under an umbrella. I have like a clear umbrella that I can use. So I think it's really romantic to be under that umbrella, just kind of hanging out. It's just, I think it's cool. I can even use it in the snow too. I should tell you guys that. I like to use it in the snow. If like the snow's falling, that's a really cool time to use that umbrella and light you guys and take those photos too. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of rain as long as it's not gonna be unattractive rain, like sideways rain, wind blowing like crazy. That's not a good look for everything. But if it's sprinkling, I don't see a reason to reschedule for everything. So yeah, it's honestly, like I said, it's kind of boils down to your personality for everything. If you are okay with different, amounts of wind, if you're okay with like a little bit of sprinkles, like I said, your wedding day is not going to be perfect. So just kind of think about your engagement photos being that way too, that if we luck out and we have an amazing day, that's great. And of course, if you want something like sunset, if that's like what we're aiming for, is like, to use Mommy Bay as an example again, sunset on the beach, like clouds are not like cloudy, like we're talking like gray skies. That's not what you're going for everything. So of course you can reschedule when it comes to things like that. But if you're not doing a sunset session, you can be a little bit more relaxed when it comes to the weather for your day, for your engagement photos. And clouds. I was kind of talking about clouds a little bit. I want to talk about clouds really quick. I know this is all over the place. I'm getting ready to go to Christmas with one side of my family, and I'm just like, blah. My kids are crazy. But clouds, when it comes to clouds, I don't mind them. Honestly, cloudy is super flattering. I will take a cloudy day over like a super bright sunny day any day. And no matter what, I'm always going to photograph you guys at like an optimal time for your photos. So the light's going to be really flattering. But cloudy is great because we can literally go anywhere. You don't have to worry about like sunny spots, cloudy spots, like how the sun looks on your face, how the sun looks on your partner's face. Because sometimes I put you in a spot and like one of you is kind of in the sun and I have to like move you guys. It just takes a little bit more time. So cloudy's nice because we can literally go anywhere. Same with your wedding day. Like cloudy's amazing. And people will be like, oh, it stinks that it's cloudy for their ceremony. And I'm like, no, cloudy's great. Like we love it. It adds some interest to the sky. So if there's like, I always call them like the Toy Story clouds. If there's like those fluffy, gorgeous clouds, that's amazing. If it's cloudy, that's amazing. Like I always think it's really cool. It adds a little bit to your day. It adds some interest to your day. So it's not just like a blue sky, if that makes sense. When you have different photos taken, it has some visual interest for everything. So for cloudy days, I don't see a reason to reschedule unless you do like hardcore want sunset photos, because you just never know what you're going to be dealt when it comes to that sunset. If it's going to stay super gray, full sky gray, or if it's going to turn into like one of those like really deep, moody, gorgeous, you don't know. So if you're dead set on that, I would say reschedule for everything. So let me see. I talked about clouds, snow, rain, cold, wind. That's all I can think of. If you guys have any questions for me, if you want to know if something is worth rescheduling for, shoot me a DM. I'm here to help you guys. I totally want to help you guys have, like I said, like a stress-free day, and I am here for you guys. So shoot me a DM. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you guys have an amazing Christmas. I hope you have an amazing New Year, and I will talk to you guys really, really soon. Bye.